Razz Reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. Set in the 28th century, this story revolves around Valérian and Laureline, who are special operatives sent on a mission to the city of Alpha, which is a vast multicultural metropolis that is facing a certain threat that they have to investigate. This film was directed by Luc Besson, and it's actually his passion project. It took him 7 years to complete this film, and he also loves original comics so much that it actually inspired his film The Fifth Element. So it's his dream to make it into a movie, and here we are. And to be honest, I really wanted to love this film, but I didn't. It was very weird because sometimes it felt original and other times it felt like it was a been there, done that kind of thing. It was kind of a mix of Star Wars and Avatar in a sense, like the Star Wars. And on paper that actually might be really cool if it's supported by a good story and good characters, but this film didn't really have that going for it. But first, I'm gonna start telling you about the top 3 things that I actually liked about Valerian. Number 3, Rihanna. Rihanna was one of the highlights of this movie. That's a sentence I didn't think I'd say. She actually put on a really cool performance in the film, but not only was she entertaining, I actually liked the character she played. I found her character to be lovable and charming, and I enjoyed her scenes, and I actually wish she was more in the film. The number 2 thing I liked about Valerian was the visuals. When you work on a movie for 7 years, it better look good. And this movie definitely looked good. It's one of those movies that would be a treat to watch in IMAX. It actually looked beautiful, the space sequences were really nice, and the design of the worlds and the aliens and even the suits and the production design was just beautiful. This film was really full of eye candy. And also the special effects and the CGI was really cool. I mean, this film is like a CGI fest. If you like CGI, this movie is an open buffet for you. I don't think anybody working in this film looked at anything but a blue screen the whole time. Some action scenes were cool and entertaining, and there was also a little bit of creativity there. There were things that involved different dimensions going in and out from certain areas and certain realities, which I found to be very entertaining in the beginning of the film. The number 1 thing I liked about Valerian was the setting. The city of Alpha is actually a very interesting location. The idea from it is that it's a place that is peaceful enough to house so many species of aliens from all over the galaxy, and they all come to this one place to share knowledge and experience and live together in harmony and peace. And that's a really cool idea. I actually wouldn't mind watching another film set in this place. And what we saw in the film, I'm sure, is not enough. I'm sure there's a lot more to see in this world, and there's a lot of potential for really cool stories out there. So the setting of this film is actually my favorite thing. When I went out, that's the thing I thought about. Like, that was a really cool place, a cool world. I want to see what else is there. And that's pretty much about all I enjoyed about Valerian. So let's start talking about the top 3 things I didn't like about Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. Number 3, the tone. The tone of this film was completely all over the place. I never figured out what the film was in terms of feel. Was it a comedy? Was it a film for kids? Is it action? Is it sci-fi? Is it fantasy? It kind of felt like it flip-flopped between all those things, and it just made me uncomfortable throughout. I wasn't sure how I'm supposed to feel watching this movie. And the thing that stands out the most was that the comedy was kind of also all over the place. Are you a witty comedy with people quipping between each other? Or are you like a goofy slapstick comedy? Which one are you, movie? Which one? Number 2, the story. This film has quite the convoluted plot. And a lot of times I didn't actually know what was going on. They were going on this mission, there's this dark, strange threat that they're supposed to investigate, but then there's this general played by Clive Owen, and then there's another general. He loves the girl, and he wants to marry her, and she's looking for him, but she doesn't like him, but she loves him, but then they have to find jellyfish. Why do you need jellyfish? Why? It was very confusing, and it felt like all these elements in the story just toppled on top of each other like this weird pile of what is happening. The problem is that I felt the whole time there's actually a nice story in there. I can't find it within the mess. There were really cool sequences and some cool moments, but they weren't linked together with anything. They were just like blotches, like and also the continuity was a little bit off because characters will show up and will be introduced and be like, okay, that's cool, that's interesting, and then they just disappear. Suddenly you meet this captain and he takes them on a ship and they need to get jellyfish. Again, I don't know why they need the jellyfish. And then like he just disappeared. At the beginning of the film, you meet this cool Jabba the Hutt kind of character, I think played by John Goodman. He's like, I'm gonna get you, and you're like, wow, this guy's a threat, and then he just goes away. So these characters just got introduced and got wasted, and also the exposition in this movie was just horrific. And take this convoluted mess and just sprinkle a lot of cheese on top, because this film is cheesy. The number 1 thing I didn't like about Valerian is the cast. main characters of this film are garbage. A lot of the things I said before you can actually forgive if the characters of the film worked, especially the leads. Dane DeHaan is supposed to be playing this charming, badass soldier, romancer guy, and he just doesn't. He's not charming, he's not funny, he's not charismatic, and he has no chemistry with the lead actress. So he just comes off as weird and creepy and awkward. It doesn't work at all. I actually like Dane DeHaan. I loved him in Chronicle. But here, such a bad fit. Who made this casting choice? Why? That's kind of role you need, you know, like a Han Solo type. Like, even when he does bad things, you still like him. He's not that guy. He's like a creepy, disturbed, dark person. And he did not fit in this film. And then there's the walking Burberry's commercial called Cara Delevingne. What are you doing acting? I hated her in Suicide Squad, and I don't like her here. She does not have any presence on screen. She delivers everything in such a monotone way. Oh, look at its eyes. It's really cute. I have to find you, Valerian. Answer me. Are you okay? Don't tell me what I can and cannot do. I love you. You don't love me. The thing that bothered me about her the most was her constant resting duck face, especially when she's in trouble and running away from danger. Like, I cannot feel the stakes of a scene when you're running away from a creature and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. And her and Valerian together, just no, none of this, no. And the problem is that they were trying to also be funny. No, I actually wish I lived in a world where the stars of the movie Passengers were the stars of this film. Imagine having Chris Pratt play Valerian and Jennifer Lawrence playing Laureline, and them together getting through this weird mission in this crazy world, and them being together with all the chemistry and all the charm that they have. Definitely work with these guys. It does not work with this cast. This was really the detriment of this film. If you like Luc Besson, if you like his style, his over-the-top campy sci-fi films, this movie might work for you more than it did for me. And I would not say don't check it out. If you're gonna check it out though, check it out in IMAX because visually it's really beautiful. This movie wasn't complete trash. I mean, I sound a little upset about it, but I'm upset because I feel like there was a lot of potential in this world and in this story, and I felt like it could have been so much better, and I don't know why it ended up being this mess that didn't work for me personally. And I really wanted to like this film, and I was really disappointed in it. And for that reason, I'm gonna give Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets a 4.5. So, have you seen Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets? Do you agree or disagree with me? Let me know in the comment section, and as always, like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to ask me for anything you'd like me to review for you next. See ya!